Axios has warned its readership about the latest development threatening public safety and our what they call democracy, but this is not a democracy. The rise of white nationalist Hispanics. We can't have that. That bewildering titled article attempts to drum up fear about a small but increasingly visible number of far-right provocateurs with Hispanic backgrounds who spread racist, anti-Semitic messages.
So wait, you couldn't find enough white supremacists to do this study on, so now they have to make them Hispanic.
I think that's exactly what's going on, yes. That's exactly right.
Okay.
Authors Russell Contreras and Astrid Galvan list a number of people of Hispanic ethnic background who attacked Americans of black or Asian descent, although there's no indication that white nationalism motivated the perpetrators. Right. Now, so Hispanics can't just have a problem with other races. They have to be tied into white nationalism?
Yeah, so what was happening? I guess a bunch of crimes were happening, and they realized, oh, look, they're Hispanics that are perpetrating these crimes. How can we connect this to whitey? Oh, I know.
That is unreal.
It's...
One of the assailants, Jose Gomez III, also stabbed a white Sam's Club employee who intervened to stop Gomez from further assaulting the Asian family. So how do you classify that? Is that white nationalism as well, stabbing the white guy?
Yeah, if you can trace whitey somewhere in your lineage in the last 500 years, then you're a Hispanic white supremacist.
Now, the other assailant, Alex Michael Ramos, asked pointedly, "You call me an effing white supremacist? I'm effing Spanish. I was raised in the effing ghetto, a-holes." I gotta love that.
So he's not. You're not gonna label me.
No, you're not gonna label me a white nationalist. I'm Hispanic. That's great.
I'm a Hispanic nationalist.
Axios acknowledges that non-white members of the white nationalist movement face a glass ceiling. Yeah, I bet they do. You want to move up in the white nationalist movement, but you're Hispanic, so you're kind of stuck there with a ceiling. You can only go so far.
Look, man,
I'm sorry. You're not white.
I know you have dreams. And I know that
you dream about being in the leadership of the white nationalist movement.
You want to climb the white supremacist ladder.
Yeah.
But you got a couple of things working against you.
Like one is you're not white. We don't like non-white people.
I will prove myself. What in the what? There are so many. They try so hard to make whitey the bad guy,
right?
In every last thing,
that they don't even care if it makes sense. Anymore. They don't care.
We are just every front of the society destroying it from within.
According to the website, there are limits to how accepted some far-right Latino activists can become in white supremacist and neo-Nazi circles. Well, yeah, I'm guessing that's probably true. The article met with instant derision online. Some commentators called its premise amazing or hilarious. Conservative writer Ryan James Gerdusky tweeted, "Damn, even white nationalists have diversity outreach." That's awesome. What an awesome response to that. Even white nationalists are reaching out for the sake of diversity. I think that's great. Others related the sudden attempt to reposition Hispanics as incipient neo-Nazis on polls that show portions of the Latino electorate inching toward the Republican Party. There's the other problem, is that a lot of Hispanics are becoming disillusioned with the Democrats because they understand.
Right.
They're not for us. They're not helping us. They don't care about us. And we don't share the values, by the way. A lot of Hispanics are coming from Mexico and Central and South America, and a lot of them are Catholic. So a lot of them are pro-life. For one thing, they're pro-life, and they can't find that position anywhere in the Democrat Party. Plus, a lot of them are freeing really bad socialism or Marxism, communism, And they see those same traits in the Democrat Party. So lo and behold, a lot of Hispanics are starting to change their mind and come around to the Republican Party where they belong.
So it'll make you want to pay close attention to the Democrat Party and how they treat Hispanics going forward.
Yeah.
Are they going to try to further embrace them, or are they going to continue to like this? Right now, this story seems far out there.
Does.
But will this become more of a mainstream talking point from Democrats if they feel that they are losing the Hispanic voting base?
Very possibly, yeah.
And lump them in with whitey.
And for blacks, I think a lot of blacks are also making that same realization. Because while the Democrat Party claims to be all about minorities and all about the black plight, they're not. They couldn't care less about minorities' situations and their plight.
So I've got a pop quiz here for you that I hadn't planned on doing here, but when you're talking about, we're talking about the different races in this nation, what percentage of this nation do you, Pat Gray, think are black?
12%, 13%.
12%. Very good. Mm-hmm. Well, there was a recent poll that asked Americans that, and the average guess was 41%.
They thought it was 41% black?
So the average American thinks that 41% of America's population is black.
Wow.
And I think that perception is just from how everything is geared toward race in this country. Every conversation has to go back to race. Oh my gosh. And it's to the point where you think everything's so overwhelming that the public now has this perception that, my gosh, the numbers, I don't understand. What this makes no sense. And it's overrepresented. They can scream that it's underrepresented everywhere. But my gosh, it's actually overrepresented on all sorts of forms of medium. And I don't care if a character or a guy on a commercial is black. I don't either. Who cares?
Don't care.
But it's just amazing the perception of where we are on race now in this country.
It's just the fact that they're trying to jam all of this stuff, all of this wokeness into every commercial and every show that comes on now.
Right.
You
would think that 3/4 of this country are gay.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We talked about Star Trek Discovery, which has just been, they've gone so far overboard that it just makes it ridiculous. You would think 90% of people are gay or trans based on watching that show. Well, we want to be fairly represented. Oh, it goes so far beyond fairly represented. It's laughable. But, I think it's just going to get worse as time goes on. I really, because you can't feature white people on shows anymore. White movies, white people in movies, white people in TV shows, they're under fire.
Yeah.
And so if you hire one to do a show about a white person, you're a racist.
Yeah, and that's just it. We don't care what the race of people are.
I don't care. Just make it a good show.